Hi, hello, good morning. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, November 24th, and you know what that means. It's time for Thora Crumb's Morning Drift. This is a morning show where we watch some live video collage that I make. I make a lot of these. It's very weird, but stick around if you like it. Also, I'll be reading ghost stories this morning. And very exciting. This book just gets better and better. We're reading from Patrick W. Gaynor's Witches, Ghosts, and Signs. Bam, baby. It's awesome. And as a reminder, I got this from my Nana's bookshelf in West Virginia, so you know it's legit. It comes straight out of Appalachia. But before that, we'll just be hanging out and sipping coffee. So if you have coffee, please cheers. Let's cheers. Let's cheers our coffee. Dink. Good morning, everybody. It is Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. How exciting. How exciting indeed. I'm thinking I want to try going live maybe at like 7:30, 8 in the morning from now on. I feel like that might be better. Oh. I should have maybe turned this up a little bit. Here we go. I thought I was on mic 2, but I guess I'm on mic 1. Well, I'm sure now people can probably hear me way easier. I don't know. It's been like daily we learn one little thing that makes things seem so much better. Like a little tweak, a little tiny technological tweak makes everything better. I would like to start off by talking about wrestling, if you don't mind. So this weekend, there was a Worlds Collide event. If you're not familiar, I would love to make you into a wrestling fan if you're not, especially if you're already like a theater person. Ooh, if you're a theater person and you are not a wrestling fan, there's a huge, vast world that you're missing out on. I think wrestling is for everyone, and you'll always hear me say that. I have only been watching for like less than a year. My partner was a big like Attitude Era when he was growing up on the Attitude Era, which I missed because it scared me. All the toxic masculinity was very scary. All right. So anyway, over the weekend, they had a Worlds Collide event. If you don't know what that is, so AAA is the Lucha Libre organization, and they have recently become part of WWE, and they're partnering a lot more on events, and they have WWE wrestlers on AAA and vice versa. Hello, little squirrel. I have a window right here that I can see my back area, and there's a tree, and there's like a little squirrel that just went straight up. He's a bulky guy. I feel like he must. I don't know how. Oh, right. We had some pumpkins on our back deck, and he went crazy for those. We came outside, and the back deck was just littered with pumpkin remains, pumpkin corpses. I don't know if YouTube likes me talking about even food as if it's like, unalived. So we'll skip that. Let's get back to wrestling. So AAA and WWE did an event this weekend. If you don't know, that's sad, but let me fill you in. Let's see. They had an event this weekend, or I guess it was maybe on Friday or Saturday. Can't exactly remember. But let me just take you through some of the highlights. There was a tag team match between Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, and then Mr. Iguana and Lola Weiss. And if you don't know who Mr. Iguana is, this is why I'm saying, like, theater people need to get hip on this, because it's freaking hilarious. Let me pull up a way to do that for us. Oh, there we go. Sweet. Okay. Cool. We're going to pause this for a second so we can look at it. Okay. Look at him! Look at him! Look at Mr. Iguana! He's amazing. Oh, we love him so much. Look at him. So Mr. Iguana, he has this puppet. It's not like specially made either. It's one of those, like, you could find it at like a Barnes and Noble, you know, in like the kids section, which is, I love that. But he's so cool. He's a super awesome wrestler. I mean, just besides the fact that he is Mr. Iguana, but the way he sells, and selling, we'll do like wrestling vocab. Your wrestling vocabulary word of the day is selling. Selling means to, if you're taking a bump, which means like you're taking a punch, or you're taking like a suplex or whatever move. If someone is, you know, attacking you, you have to sell it. So even if like it's not that big of a bump that you're taking, or that hard of a punch, you got to sell it, right? Mr. Iguana, when he sells, shoot, let's see. When he's in the ring, he pretends to be an unalived iguana. I don't know if they're... Where is it? I'm just trying like different... I don't even know how to... It's not... We can't find this. This is frustrating. It's just actual iguanas. Don't touch that frozen lizard. Okay, but this is what this show is also about. We follow wormholes. So our first wormhole of the day is Florida man fills car with frozen iguanas. They wake up. Oh my gosh. So this is 2020. If you haven't heard, what the heck? Come on, man. This is awful, though. Why would he do this? Watch for falling iguanas due to the cold. They are cold-blooded creatures unable to regulate their own body temperatures. So when they're not near a heat source, their body will essentially slow down and freeze them. But it doesn't kill them. I mean, unalive them. It basically just makes them stiffen up and hibernate. What? I knew none of this. None. I knew none of this. Pardon me. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. This seems like two different stories. In an NPR segment, the host Ari Shapiro talked to Ron McGill at the zoo, Miami, where a man filled up his car with the frozen iguanas. Their meat, no, being a delicacy. And while in the car, they thawed out and attacked him. Gross. No, we don't want that. No. This is not a commercial. Wow. That is wild. Okay. Let's watch
warning.
this.
It could be warning. It could be warning.
They really do. They really do fall. Y'all, we learned a lot already today. That is bananas. Oh, it's just showing me showing you my screen. That's funny. Well, okay. Learned that. We learned that today. Frozen. Oh, That's wild. How long can they stay frozen for? How long can they stay frozen for? Somebody tell me. I don't feel like looking it up. Because I don't want to learn anything that I don't want to know, you know? It's like, that'll bum me out, make me sad. But we started this whole thing because of Mr. Iguana. So I think maybe we should specify. Oh, he'll carry it in his mouth, which is incredible. Amazing. They'll do whole segments where like even the other wrestlers will interact with Ieska. I think that's what it's called. The puppet. Which might be iguana in Spanish. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we're so cute, so funny. Oh, that's not even on hello. Sorry. Here. Open image. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. It's so funny. It's so good. So, what do you mean you're not? Whatever. Okay. It says it's not receiving enough video. Whatever that means. So we'll turn this off. Anyway, it was a good time. Then there was, you gotta know who El Grande Americano is. This is sort of like a weird phenomenon that's taken over in WWE. It's this, he's like a caricature. So his name is El Grande Americano, right? So he's a luchador, but he is the like American luchador. And he wears like US colors, the US flag, regalia all over himself. And I think, okay, so originally he's masked, right? Luchadors are masked, so you can't see their faces. You're not supposed to know their identities. They're concealed. And with El Grande Americano, it was a mystery as to who this was. But also, the announcers and everyone were hinting the fact that it was someone that we might know. And it turned out it was Chad Gable. So if you don't know who Chad Gable is, he's another wrestler on the main roster of WWE. He's shorter, stockier kind of guy. He's, yeah. And so anyway, he got injured. And so they replaced the Grande Americano with a German. Or wait, is he Austrian? I can't remember. But his name is Ludwig Kaiser. So he's either German, Austrian, something of that nature. I'm so sorry. Anyway, he is so tall and very European. And he is playing this character with like all of his heart. He is doing amazing. AAA luchador fans in Mexico love him. Cannot get enough of him. Even like this little girl in the crowd was wearing an El Grande Americano mask. I don't know if it's going to tell us that we're not making enough video, but I would really like to show you, just at the very least, El Grande Americano just once. I just think you need to see his mask. He also does this thing where he'll like, when he walks in, he has this bouncy walk and he holds his hand out like this to kiss the ring. And so people like, you know, will give him the hand back. Oh, okay. So also there are a few others that are Los Americanos. They're just like his backup buddies that show up and like terrorize whatever match is happening at the time. Here, let me show you. I'm trying to find a really good picture to show you. It's so good. But I just found on Google Images, there is a picture of all of them and who they are, their identities of the other ones. So I'm curious. My partner loves to just like pretend. He loves to play into the kayfabe, which means like into the imagination of El Grande Americano. So he refuses to acknowledge that it's played by Ludwig Kaiser. Yeah, El Grande Americano went from 5 feet 8 inches to 6 feet 3 inches. All right, here we go. This is good. This gives you. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so. Let me show you. So, when they come out, there's like a Spider-Man thing happening. So these are the extra boys, and this is the El Grande Americano. Yeah. So him and Dominic Mysterio had a match. There was a tag team match, though. I think. Yes, it was. But this is Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom. They were on a tag team together. So we should be able to see this pretty easily. Last night, or when we watched it this weekend, Dominic Mysterio he's usually wearing like, oh God, it's so hard to explain. You just have to look at it. Never mind, it's not really that important. I was trying to find, though, a picture from the most recent match that I'm talking about. But there isn't one. There's just like a promo. Oh, here we go. They fought against El Hijo de Vikingo and Dragon Lee. And they won mainly because El Hijo was being a jerk. I think he used to be a face, and now he's a heel because he just sabotaged the whole thing last night. But anyway, it was a really good match. Super fun. Also, just the AAA madness is so fun. The Psycho Clown Brigade, I guess I'll call them. Here, I'll pull that up so you can get a chance to see that. All right. So Psycho Clown is one. There's like a whole family of clowns that are wrestlers, believe it or not. This might not be news to anyone, but the first time you encounter a lot of this stuff, it's pretty wild if you're not already on the up and up. So there they are. Very fun to watch. Crowd goes crazy. Such a crowd pleaser. So yeah, those are just some of the highlights from that. What else happened this weekend? What else can I tell you? What else? A lot's going to change in the next... Oh, I remember. The Age of Disclosure. Let's talk about that. The Age of Disclosure. The documentary that just came out. It has a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. And it is 2025 American documentary by Dan Farrar, and proposes conspiracy theories that information regarding the existence of UAPs has been long covered up by the government, blah, blah, blah. It is really good. It appeared on my TikTok this morning, and I'm already seeing comments that are either just, claiming it's a distraction or that it's BS. It's just not. People are saying it's a distraction from the files, the epi files. There's a lot in the documentary that I think is important for people, everyone, to just be exposed to. I think I have a lot of feelings about it. It's a really good movie. I'll just say that, and people can watch it and take in the information and make your own opinions. All I'm saying is it's a well-made film. It does truly dive deeper than you might expect. It does. And it does reveal things that are shocking. So whether you think it's a distraction or BS, or you're, engaged and listening, I mean, absolutely take everything that anyone says with a grain of salt on this topic, especially when it's a government voice. However, there's a lot in there that is worth watching. So I definitely recommend it. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes does not surprise me. Here's a film review. This will help. Christian Zilko of IndieWire stated, as someone who has never been persuaded by anything I have ever heard about aliens before watching the film, I feel qualified to tell you that The Age of Disclosure is really, really convincing. The amount of military officials who share detailed, corroborating stories of alien encounters and congresspeople who vouch for the credibility of their claims make this feel like a documentary with front-page news potential. Of course, there's still the problem of never being able to see this classified evidence, and each viewer will have to decide how many generals swearing that they've seen aliens with their own eyes is enough to convince them. And then, the Hollywood Reporter, which is interesting because I don't feel like they desensationalize things. Daniel Feinberg called the film a sensationalistic wolf in understated sheep's clothing. Almost nothing in The Age of Disclosure is new per se, but the quality of its production values set it apart from similar films of the genre, and that some viewers will happily celebrate the fantasy when it looks this legitimate. So I would be very curious to know where this reviewer is coming from in terms of what information do you have that they don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyone who sits through its nearly 2 hours of unprovable claims is a chump. Oh, wow. I want to look up this guy. Ben Kenigsberg. I'm sorry, Ben. You are not it. Not surprised. Let's see. He's a frequent contributor. Oh, he was in Chicago for a while. I just want to know, I love to get a sense of what you like. If you're going to say something like that, what is it that you like? Yeah, who knows? I'm not getting a lot of clear information right off the bat. I think that the movie at the end does a very good job of saying, make up your own damn mind. Also, the fact that we're not alone is basically the thing that we want the American public to understand. So if that nuance isn't enough for you, Ben Kenigsberg, fine. But you're a dummy. Because if you just say that's hogwash, it's a nuanced film. Honestly, it is. People are just, and that's what's so confusing to me about when people have an issue with documentaries in terms of they're framed a certain way, or you're giving it a hard time for... Shoot, I lost my... Wait. No, this is so good. Hold on. Oh, Feinberg also dismissed it as a basic cable exploitation doc done up with a fancy gloss. Nothing is proven and nothing can be refuted. So, I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh. Oh my gosh. Another one said, deliver some fascinating information, but was executed in the most bland way possible. The pacing makes the movie feel like you're watching a college PowerPoint presentation. Richard stated that there have been far worse docs on the subject of UFOs. Yeah, there have been. What what UFO documentaries is anyone standing up behind? Do you know what I mean? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, these people. Yeah, these reviewers are funny. It's so funny that they get the they get to step into the shoes of a UFO UAP researcher just because they're film reviewers. they honestly, like, they step out of their lane and they go straight to, like, this is fantasy. It's not legitimate. You just talk about the film. The content itself is like, you can't argue with that because I had no idea that Collider, Nate Richards from the Collider, I had no idea that Brian Abrams from the Motion Picture Association, Daniel Feinberg from the Hollywood Reporter, and who else? This mother... Ben Kenigsberg of the New York Times. I had no idea that they were the experts. Why aren't they making a movie? Wild. Makes me laugh. So there you go. With all that being said, do your own homework. Watch the movie. I think it's a good movie. It's a good documentary. Let's get back to some more video art, shall we? I got myself all worked up. I really did. I didn't expect that. Over UFOs and UAPs. Honestly, though, it annoys me more than anything that we can't just, at the very least, be open. You know? Last night, my partner was like, wait, you don't believe in Bigfoot anymore? And I was like, it's not a belief. It's just being open to something, the possibility of something existing. That is the issue that I have with so much of this phenomena, is that it becomes the task, like the internet asks you, and documentaries ask you, even reviewers, right? The government asks you to make a decision. And there's no way in this day and age, or any day and age, that you can know absolutely about any of this unless you have had a single encounter or experience, a personal first-hand encounter or experience. And even that being said, you are experiencing a small slice of the phenomena. So you cannot comprehend of what else you have not seen, what else you have not experienced. Baseline. So unless Ben Kenigsberg, Daniel Fine, whatever, and floozies that are reviewing this documentary and making snap judgments about the content and whether it's legit or just fodder or distraction, that's dumb. That's a dumb argument. Because what do you know that we don't? And why aren't you putting it in your review? Right? If you know so much, put it in your GD review and tell us. Have I had experiences? Yeah, I have. And you don't know until you see something that you don't know. You know? I know that sounds ridiculous. Look, and Pooper just did something. Oh, never mind. We're good. I could go on and on about it. I'll try not to. What are you going to do? I'm just going to chill. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to chill. Oh, boy. This week should be fun, right? What's coming up? December? That month sure is headed towards us. Which means all the winter snowy holidays are coming. I am dying. I'm unaliving. I'm begging for some colder weather. We are slowly getting it. But it is taking too long this year. I'm really hungry, but I have to... Did you hear that? My throat made a weird noise. I've been having the weirdest things happen when I try to eat. Like, I'll eat a little bit of, like, I'll put some... I can't even talk right. I'm just going to let this go because I'm having a hard time talking this morning. I would rather read a ghost story, actually, anyway, instead of talking about my issues with food this weekend. Basically, TLDR is that I'll try to eat something and I get full right away. And then I'll wait and get super, like, voraciously hungry again. I'll eat a little bit and then I'm full. If anybody knows what's going on with my tummy, please help. But it's okay. She's okay. She's fine. I'm fine. Last week, we read the Jim Barton's Fiddle story, and that was crazy. So good. It was long, but I wanted to look it up. Oh, I think I did. I did look it up last time. There's a lot of information on it. My lamp does that sometimes. I don't know if you clocked. It just, like, went out and then came back in. Basically, this fiddle story it's a true story. Jim Barton's Fiddle, there was a family that lived in, like, I can't remember where it was. It was in West Virginia. All of these stories are in West Virginia. But the son, he was never introduced to the fiddle. His mom's side of the family were all like generations of fiddle players, and the husband of this family, so the boy's dad, thought it was the work of the devil, the fiddle. So he banned it, and his wife actually played it. The mom played the fiddle, and she wasn't allowed to. It was a really funny beginning because, like, she lived on a farm, and people talked about how, I guess that was sort of a common thing for people to think that the fiddle was the work of the devil. So people kind of avoided that family. But the mom, when she was younger, she was, super cute. She was so cute. And so the husband, when they were young and he was courting her, he would go to her house anyway. And I just think it's so funny that he was like, he loves this girl, but she plays the fiddle, It's one of those things. You find a good guy, you find the right one, and then you find out, they're a fiddle player. You just wanted a nice God-fearing girl. What do you get? You get a fiddle player. An agent. of the devil. She probably played for the devil. And if you can hear what's on in the background, I'm not sure if it sounds crazy. But this is Dosh, who, if you were like big in the indie scene in the 2010s, earlier as well, Andrew Bird, you know, that whole era, the Andrew Bird era, Dosh was on his albums a lot. They collaborated exclusively for a while. And Dosh does his own side project, his solo work. And I actually got a chance to see him live in Chicago in, I don't know, this was probably maybe 7 years ago, 5 to 7 years ago. No, longer than that. It would have been at least 8 or 9 years, which is nuts. I saw him at the Hideout in Chicago, if you know where that is. It was a very good show. Very good show. I can't wait to go back to Chicago. I can't wait. I miss it so much. Anyway, this fiddle story. Jim Barton was the son. Dad, he does work. He like takes logs on a raft down the river. This is like the most Appalachian shit ever. And so he'll be gone for like days at a time because it's a trip that he has to take to transport lumber down the river to wherever it needs to go to be sold off. So he leaves for a few days. Jim and his mom, they go over to his family's house and there's a fiddle they let him start playing it and he loves it so much. And he wants to take it home, but they're like, oh no, Dad's going to know. And they're like, well, what if we just put it away and then we hide it? And then when he's gone, you can play it. And then, you know, we'll put it back before he's gone. This did not work out, clearly. Dad comes home early, finds him playing it, or I think he hears fiddle music as he's like approaching the house, even worse. And he's like, Jim, I think he tells him to get out. Right? Where did it go? I want to get this right because I want to retell this story. And when I retell it, I want to get these details right. So what does he end up doing? What does he end up doing? Oh, so bad. Oh my God. The ending of it is, I'll read the ending because it's so sad. Oh my gosh. Jim. Oh, he cut the strings. Daddy cut the strings. And he said, Peter turned and spoke. 3, there hangs the instrument of the devil. I would have broke it in 100 pieces, but I want to hang it there as a lesson to all them who will not obey. Like, what the? Dude, Dad, chill. I have said that my son could not live in this house if he ever brought such an instrument under this roof. Now let him go to his grandpappy's and see if he has another fiddle. Let him go now and let him stay there. So he does. And the mom, she tried to take the blame and he wouldn't listen. The fiddles with the strings cut, hung on the wall, like as a reminder, after what happened. So Jim ends up leaving. He walks off of a cliff and dies. Like that night, he unalives the little boy. Yeah. So it was about 4 years after that Dad passed, and then Mom. Oh, yeah, that's right. I wanted to read that part because it's the worst. Oh my gosh. Well, it was one Saturday morning that some folks was a-going past there, and they stopped to see how Aunt Sari was. They called, but Aunt Sari didn't answer, and so they walked up to the house and opened the door. There they found her settin' in her old rocking chair and a-holdin' that fiddle in her lap. She had a smile on her face, but her eyes were closed, just like she was asleep. When they went over to her, they found she was unalived. They said they never saw a person look so peaceful and natural-like as Aunt Sari in that chair. I mean, come on. Aunt Sari. Heartbreaking. Yep. But some say that Jim Barton's fiddle can be heard yet on some nights, just above midnight. Ooh, spooky. Interesting and spooky. Two things that my Gemini brain absolutely loves. So, we've got more ghost stories from this book to read. So what should we do? Let's do the ghost of the jilted girl. Jeez. Sounds great. This title is making me laugh. Okay, here we go. So the first little paragraph is like preface, just a little bit of context, and then I will go into full voiceover character mode for you. Okay? Here we go. The ghost of the jilted girl. One day in 1958, I visited Elliot Johnson in his home in Logan County. He had worked hard in the coal mines for many years. His voice was soft and mellow, and his eyes brightened as he told me of a frightful experience he had with a ghost. Ooh la la. Here's that experience. Here we go. So Elliot Johnson, his voice was soft and mellow. Okay, and his eyes brightened. Okay. I had a ghost to haunt me once. She was a sweetheart of mine, but I didn't marry her. What? Oh my. This got interesting right away. She wanted me to marry her. And after I married another girl, this sweetheart took poison and unalived herself. And she haunted me so that I had to leave that house and come up here to live. She'd grab me in the bed. The first time, she caught the sheet, grabbed it, and pulled it. I woke up and tried to hold the sheet, but she pulled it out of my hand. I said, "Oh, imagination. I'm going to stay here in the house anyhow." It wouldn't come every night, but every other night. One night, it came and caught me right up here under the throat and back of the neck. Brother, she had a vice on me, and it looked like I couldn't get away at all. Finally, I ran and got loose. Well, that night I said, "I think I'll go upstairs, for I don't believe it will bother me there." Well, I went upstairs, and someone says, "Boy, did you come up?" I said, "Yeah, I got lonesome down there." Well, the next night that she came upstairs, she didn't bother me. I heard the footsteps coming up the stairs, pit, 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 coming right up the stairs. I turned the light on quick, but I didn't see nothing. But she took all my clothes, and I heard a sound like, ooh. This sounds made up on the spot. This all sounds so made up. And I said, "All right." Oh my God, this is the best ghost story. Best ghost story I've ever read. Hands down. Best of all time. Elliot Johnson, I tip my hat. Sir, you tell a wild story. We're not done. Okay. I got to read that again because that was funny. I heard the footsteps coming up the stairs. Pit, pit, pit. Coming right up the stairs. I turned the light on quick, but I didn't see nothing. But she took all my clothes, and I heard a sound like, ooh. That's my favorite part. And I said, "All right." I went down the next morning, a little before day, and she went downstairs. It sounded like someone rolling marbles down the stairs. Bub, 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 bub. What is that? It's B-U-B, comma, and then B-U-B, like, times 3. Bub? Okay. Never heard that onomatopoeia to describe marbles falling. Oh, this is my favorite. Oh, he used this as this vernacular. I figured I'd get out of there. It actually is spelled figured. F-I-G-G-E-R-E-D. So I figured I'd get out of there. She couldn't come across a stream of water, so I moved up there and she ain't bothered me any more since. Classic. Classic. Who hasn't had a story like that? Where you have a jilted lover, right? You tell them you're not interested. You marry someone else, and then they go and then they haunt you until you move across the water, until you move by a river. Been there. Been there. We all know it. We all know that game. Ooh. Oh, man. That was entertainment. The shoe unalive case. I think I might have already read that one. Oh, gosh. We've got one that's called The Tragic Story of Ellen and Edward. I don't know that I think we'll just leave it there for today. I don't know if I really want to read another tragedy. Jim Barton's Fiddle was just, oh no. It was just too sad. But this paper, okay, I'm starting to realize this book cover is so old. I need to be very careful with it. I'm taking it off. Ugh, yeah. Because anytime you, like, touch it, like, a tiny rip just goes. So, no, we want to preserve your history. Oh, my gosh. So funny. Oh, my gosh. What was it called? The Ghost of the Jilted Girl. He must have been such a hottie, such a baddie. To get someone to do that and then haunt you, like, goals. No, not the first part. Just like having someone obsessed with you and they haunt you, like, dang. You must really be putting out the pheromones. Can you imagine though, like, you can't relocate to another city or something. Like, you're kind of just stuck in the town that you exist in, and you fall in love with someone and you're like, this is it. And then unfortunately they don't reciprocate that feeling and you are stuck, man. That's some unresolved karma. That's rough, man. That's rough. So rough. Oh, we've got about 12 more minutes of stream. Oh my goodness. Let's make this tune vibe a little louder. Thinking about Thanksgiving foods now. My favorites are, I feel like as I've gotten older, my tastes are starting to sound older, like elderly. But I really love cranberry sauce, like well made. I'm not talking like jelly in a can. I'm talking you buy the cranberries fresh, you boil them down and put like orange zest in there, some citrus, some sugar. I can't remember what else goes in there, but it's delicious. I might make some because I'm not sure if where I'm going if there's going to be any. But green bean casserole is the absolute shit. So good. What else? Oh man, now I'm hungry. Mac and cheese, of course. Of course, of course. I don't get super excited for turkey. I don't know anybody that really does. I wonder if turkey just used to be like banging. I wonder if it used to be a lot better. And now that we have, AI turkey basically that we're eating. It's not AI turkey, but it's like not great. With hormones and crap in it. Basically an AI turkey. I just don't get super pumped for it. I don't. I'm sorry. I need to make some more video art. I'm so hungry. I might have to log off just a tad early because my stomach is going crazy. And since we're just still in the trial phase of this and there's no viewers, what do we have to lose, right? This experiment is getting easier and easier though. I'm so sorry that I burped into the mic. I deeply apologize. I pride myself on not doing stuff like that. And I went ahead and did it anyway. I can't remember what I was saying. I don't know. Ma. That's an Australian thing, I think. Is it something that a lot of people in Australia do? The ma. I've only heard this one podcast. These two ladies do it. But I like it. Ma. It's like another way of being like, oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off. Go take care of that need. Well, friends, this has been mighty fun for all of us. I love you. I love you. And I say that in the sense that I'm doing my best to love all of humanity. That sounds really dumb and cringe, but it's true. I am trying to open my heart to all of humanity, and it really does sound cringy, but I think the more of us that do that, the better. So I always have to try and calm down the 13-year-old in my head that's like, oh, stop, you sound so lame. Just be like, shut up. It's time that we step into more light as a society, right? I think so. And honestly, hot take. This will be my last hot take of the day. I think that the sooner we realize we're not alone in the universe, I think honestly that's something that as people start to have more experiences and as there are more and more things that we experience that we cannot explain or neatly tie up, that some things are just going to be less based in science and more based in experience. And I'm not saying anything against science. I think science and technology and spirituality all go hand in hand. Honestly, I think the biggest drawback for me for that documentary, Age of Disclosure, was not hearing them intertwine or integrate the idea that spirituality needs to be a component of advancing technology, and advancing as a species, which is weird, right? But it's true. And I don't know how to explain it to you right now, but it's just true. I'm going to leave it there. I wish you all a beautiful Monday, no matter what the weather is, right? I wish you beautiful interactions with others, with yourself. And when it's just too much, just take a nap. Even if it feels irresponsible. Or just sit down and do nothing. Even if it feels irresponsible. Okay. Off we go. Surround yourself with light and each other. And go listen to some good music. Go dance it out. Be a good human, and I'll see you tomorrow.